Hello everyone, my greetings to each one of you. This is the second subunit under Consumers, Equilibrium and Demand. In the first subunit, you have learnt about utility analysis. Professor J.R. Hicks found it unrealistic to measure utility, that is satisfaction, in quantitative terms. The relevance of measuring utility was challenged by him. Indifference curve is an improvement over the utility analysis as it takes into account the preferences of the consumers. Indifference curve analysis is based on the ordinal approach, implying ranking and not measuring. In his opinion, utility can be compared by ranking the consumer's preferences. So a more realistic approach has been developed by Professor Hicks to find consumers' equilibrium. I am Poonam Vohra from Economics Learning Center. This entire subunit is explained through 7 sessions. First one is basic concepts. Second is budget line. Third, shifts in budget line. Fourth, consumers' preferences. Fifth, indifference curves. Sixth, indifference map. And finally, the consumer's equilibrium. In this session, the discussion will be on basic concepts that everyone must know in order to understand the consumer's equilibrium through indifference curve analysis. So let us begin. Let's understand the difference between cardinal and ordinal utility. Utility analysis is based on cardinal approach, that is, it is possible to measure the level of satisfaction by units called utils. In ordinal approach, preferences are ranked. Let's understand this with the help of an example. Anil is very thirsty and can have either a lime water or a Pepsi. He assigns 60 utils of satisfaction by consuming lemon water and 40 utils by consuming Pepsi. It implies that he gets more satisfaction by consuming lemon water in comparison to Pepsi. It is less realistic because a numerical value is being assigned to satisfaction, which is psychological in nature. Ordinal utility approach assumes that satisfaction cannot be measured, but ranking can be done in order of preferences. Higher rank given implies higher preference given to the consumption of a commodity. Continuing with the same example, as per the ordinal utility approach, Anil gets more satisfaction by consuming lemon water. So, higher ranking is given to the consumption of lemon water and is more preferred. Since he gets less satisfaction by consuming Pepsi, so lower ranking is given to the consumption of Pepsi and is less preferred. This approach is considered more realistic, and the basis of the entire approach is the existence of law of diminishing marginal utility. Let's observe few preferences of the consumers from our day-to-day life. There are few trends that you must have noticed. Your parents used to go for grocery shopping to a kirana shop. For buying vegetables and fruits, they used to go to a vegetable market. And the composition of shopping consisted of your basic necessities. Now what happens nowadays? So far as purchase of food items are concerned, something very simple. There is a new breed of consumers that have emerged. These new consumers are more indulgent with fruits and vegetables, true, but they are experimenting with new and foreign cuisines. They are seeking variety and they are open to international brands. They profess to enjoy foreign food and are ready to pay more for premium or organic food items, which is a huge shift from the last decade. Not only that, new foods have emerged like quinoa, and different kinds of brands are available at regular supermarkets and large kirana stores also. There has been a change in the composition of consumption. From simple traditional food, the changes in favor of new and exotic food items, salad dressings, various kinds of syrups, the demand for which have gone up dramatically over the last few years. For the new breed of consumers, convenience is the new drive for consumption. It is because of rapid industrialization, demanding lifestyles, which have resulted in an increased time-starved consumers exponentially, and the segment values convenience in their consumption or shopping for food items. So there has been a shift from kiranas to supermarkets, hypermarkets to online grocers, with the belief that home delivery is going to stay now, as the consumer has to decide what commodity and how much to buy. He considers his ability to pay for the commodity and satisfaction derived from such consumption. His ability to pay is technically called as consumer's budget. For simplicity, it is assumed that the consumer incurs expenditure on two goods X and Y within the limits of his income. It is also assumed that income of the consumer and prices of the commodities remain constant. Hence, a consumer has to adjust only the quantity of purchases within the limit of his income. This gives rise to consumption possibilities of two goods consumed by the consumer within his given income. So a collection of such consumption possibilities that a consumer can buy at a given price while remaining within the limits of his income is budget set. The mathematical inequality, that is expenditure incurred on X, Px into Qs, price of commodity X into quantity of commodity X plus expenditure incurred on Y, price of commodity Y into quantity of commodity Y is less than or at the most equal to M, that is income, is called budget constraint. A graphical presentation of budget constraint and budget set, that is the whole collection of the combination of two goods which cost the consumer exactly his income when savings are zero, is called budget line. I hope you have understood some of the basic concepts that are very essential to know to understand the entire indifference curve analysis. With this, the session comes to an end, and the next session would focus on budget line. Till then, keep reading and keep learning.